This is your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. We start off from Parliament because this is an issue we've been watching the whole day, and they've been haggling behind closed doors. The NPP and NDC MPs, they asked for a quick break whilst they were trying to approve some ministerial nominees appointed by President Akufo-Addo. They've been vetted. The chairman of the Appointments Committee has laid that report, and they were supposed to, deliberate on it, but they took a break, and it's been hours since that, and still no end in sight. My colleague, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante, has been monitoring events for us in Parliament, joins us live. Kweku, I can see that it's still an empty Parliament or empty chamber. What really is the issue?
So very soon we expect almost all MPs to take their seats, because we expect the Speaker of Parliament to come in to gavel the House in session, because about 3 hours ago, MPs decided to take an hour break to focus and also deliberate on some key issues. Very shortly, I'll go to MP for Ningo Pram Sam George and have some conversations on what might have taken place. But the Appointment Committee's report, that having to do with 6 nominees of the President for Ministerial, Deputy Ministerial, and Ministers of State, was just about to be debated when the leadership informed the Speaker that they wanted to take 1 hour adjournment to deliberate on some matters behind closed doors, to continue the negotiations. It's been a stalemate since then. 3 hours it took for the House to go into what is called a joint caucus meeting to be able to agree on something. They couldn't. Honorable Sam George has joined me here, and I'll go to Honorable Sam George shortly on for some of the things that happened behind closed doors. Honorable Sam George, so you took 1 hour break. It took longer than that. Clearly, from what we are hearing, no compromise has been reached. Is the minority backing down on some of the stands you have taken early on?
What are we supposed to back down from?
Well, to support the government to pass their ministers. These are some of the critical ministerial positions that have not been filled for a while now.
Well, the minority has taken a principled position from the get-go on the size of government and the fact that we do not subscribe to the current size of government. It's an undisputable fact that the minority's position is well known, so there is nothing to back down from. We are determined to go to a vote on all the issues, and it is my hope and aspiration that we'll hold our line.
Well, you're not just being a difficult minority. Government needs you to cooperate on some of these measures. Like I said, these are key ministries. Are you saying that the Agric Ministry should not have a substantive minister? The Minister for Trade and Industry. These have all been empty for a while now since their ministers resigned. They have caretaker ministers, but there are those who have said that without substantive ministers to lead policy, they will struggle.
Well, you just gave some of the examples of the ministries, but what about the Ministry of Chieftaincy that has a new appointee? Couldn't the Ministry of Chieftaincy have been subsumed under the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts? You have a Deputy Minister of Energy being promoted now to a substantive Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance. You have a Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Local Government also being promoted again to a substantive Minister of State. Those for us are profligacies, and you need to understand the fact that we are the place where everybody, pensioners, individual bondholders, children, I mean, even newborn babies in Ghana are having to give something off. They're foregoing their vaccines because government doesn't have money to buy vaccines. And what exactly is the government giving off in this debt exchange program? Everybody, even foreign, the Paris Club, foreigners, we're asking China to take a haircut. Everybody's taking a haircut, but the government is growing an Afro-punk.
Is the position the same on the 3 tax measures?
Well, we're treating all the issues individually. There's the issue of the nominees. There's the issue those are the ministerial nominees. There's also the issue of the judges, 4 judges to the Supreme Court. There is then the 3 tax measures, and then there's the vexed matter of the CI. So each one is different, and each one, the position of the minorities is unique to each of those situations.
I mean, you just mentioned the CI. We have been told that government side wanted some straight off of a sword. I know you don't want to give so much of what happened behind closed doors, but we understand they are now amenable to some changes, agreeing with you that the Ghana card should not be made a sole identity document. That should make you come toe-to-toe to government and just get government business through, or you are still not amenable to that concession?
Well, I don't know about trade-offs. Parliament is not a marketplace, so I don't know how there'll be a trade-off. What I know is that we try to build consensus in Parliament. And the fact needs to be made that when we make the case that making the national identification card, or what you call the Ghana card, or the ECOWAS card, whichever nomenclature I used to call it, the sole card for getting registered under Article 42 of the Constitution to exercise your franchise is a very unintelligent position. People think that we are being high-handed, but you have an electoral commission that is the biggest threat to our democracy, and members on the majority side are beginning to see it. They also have rural communities. Why you think everybody in Swame has been giving a Ghana card? Absolutely not. There are people who would most likely vote for the NPP in Menchia North who do not have the Ghana card. You have MPs from rural communities who are MPP MPs where people just do not have the Ghana card. And so MPs are beginning to wake up to the reality that this goes beyond the party's block position to what it means for they themselves as members of parliament and their elections. And so I think that we're coming to that place where common sense and logic is prevailing over partisan considerations. But you have an electoral commission that remains recalcitrant. Don't forget, they say they are independent. They say that, and so nobody can dictate to them what to do. But what you should bear in mind is that even though we cannot dictate to the electoral commission what they should do by way of the CI, if we're united in this house, with 2/3 of this house, if the CI is late, we can throw it out. And again, the EC doesn't even have audience on the floor. And so the CI, it comes back to our friends on the other side. The CI, the Electoral Commission, does not commissioner is a stranger to Parliament. She has no audience before this august house. Okay, she cannot come onto the floor without our permission, and in fact, she cannot lay the CI. The CI can only be laid by the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs. And so, if he is minded, and if he's going to walk his talk and listen to his own caucus and what his caucus is saying to him about the fact that they are against the Ghana card being the only way of getting registered for purposes of general elections or public elections in this country, the majority leader who doubles as Minister for Parliamentary Affairs would decline to lay that bill. If that bill is even laid, Parliament, if we have 2/3, can throw it out, or that CI, we can throw it out.
Do you expect business to continue? Do you expect the motion moved and having been seconded? Do you expect the debate to continue for a vote to happen when the Speaker comes back to gavel the House in session?
Well, the Speaker gave indication of what his intentions were. He said he will complete this today. So the best I can say in my native Ghana is, or in Ghana to be Mene Obakpawo, in Dangwe to be Munan Holewa Makpaho, or as many chief speakers will say, Ene point now.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable Sam George. So that is Honorable Sam George, MP for Ningo Pram, clearly saying that despite the House going into caucus for close to 3 hours, no agreement has been reached. There were some trade-offs. You heard me put it to him that the majority side wanted some sort of a compromise. They said that they were going to back the minority on their position that the CI must not be made the sole identity document to register as a voter. They made that proposal to the majority. They were even willing to sign under an undertaking. The minority said, no, unless you amend the CI, you put it before us. Let's say that the CI has not been laid. And if it is not laid, you cannot amend it. And so they are trying to put it to this Electoral Commission to make those changes before it comes to Parliament to lay it. That is the state of play now. No agreement in sight, and it is getting late. More MPs, as I see from my back, are coming in from their offices. They expect the Speaker to come back, and we'll see what happens next. MFA.
We'll talk about other issues that are emerging, but first off, I'll need you to clarify this for us. We've been talking about the NDC's chairman, also the NPP's general secretary, all trooping into the House. What exactly was their mission? I'm sure you've been finding out from MPs whilst they've gone on the break. Were they part of the deliberations? What exactly is their mission in the House?
So it is becoming such a normal thing in Parliament when such crucial businesses are taking place on the floor, where leadership on both sides of the parties come to Parliament. So the last time the Speaker of Parliament was elected, Johnson Esedun was here. NPP leadership were also here. And the last time there was a censure motion, NPP leadership were here. I remember Justin Frimpong Kodia sat there. But you will see in your short, Kesa will pan the camera, you will see Johnson Esedun he is still here. The National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, is also here. I think he just stepped up. And some members of the National Communications Directorate of the NDC, they've all come in here to try and offer some sort of support to their members, given the hardline stances that have been taken. And it's very interesting. You see where Johnson Esedun-Ketia is sitting. He's sitting directly opposite the minority MPs. He wants to be able to see whatever is going on their side. And so that is exactly what he has done. My sources say that, the party put out a statement some few days ago urging all NDC MPs not to travel and to stay in chamber and do the business that will come up, including rejecting these ministerial nominees, rejecting the ACCI if it is ever late, and rejecting those 3 tax measures that government is seeing as crucial to get an IMF deal. And so today he was here clearly to see that deal that they made with their MPs is stuck through, and clearly you see where he sat, seeing what their MPs are doing and sometimes communicating with the leadership of the House. They are not leaving any stone unturned. They want to see through this. And you see, Justin Frimpong-Kodi, I have not seen him since the House went on that 1-hour suspension. He has not returned, but my understanding is that he is still within the process of Parliament, offering the needed support to the NPP MPs, just as Johnson Esedun-Ketia is offering that support to the NDC MPs. I approached them a while ago to try and see if they will speak to me. They said they are not speaking to me on the record now. They want to see the business through, and then if there's anything, they will offer that to the media.
Today would have been a rather short day, even though we're hoping to go into the night. But it appears the first business, which is the approval of these nominees, have not even been cleared. There's no conclusion on the matter. There was an item 2, which was supposed to be the deliberations on the revenue mobilization measures, or the taxes, the 3 taxes that were supposed to be deliberated. What then is the way forward? Does it look like these 2 items will be deliberated all tonight, or will go on into tomorrow?
So those 3 tax measures, although it's appearing as the latter item on the floor of Parliament, it's actually the most important one, because today, Thursday, Parliament decided that those were the 3 revenue measures they were going to deal with. The expectation then was that, let's take away the ministerial nominees first, then let's get to that. But at 7 p.m., there's been no decision whatsoever on that ministerial nominees. It is clear that if it goes ahead, the ministerial nominees may fail to go through because the NDC MPs are closing ranks, they are sticking with each other, and then they'll move on to the next item on the agenda. That will be the 3 taxes if government still wants to push it through and shoot that down also. So the understanding we are getting now is that the government side is trying to count their losses for now. They may be willing to come back and make an appeal to the Speaker to adjourn sitting so that they can continue the dialogue. Ordinarily, NPP MPs have 138 MPs, and they should be able to see through every matter if they stick through. But we know that 2 NPP MPs are not around as of yet, which is shortening their numbers. It could even be more, because at the time they were sitting, I was counting, and they had some seats very empty. The NDC side also had 1 notable absence, Teresa Ladi Ayamba. We understand she will come back. And so both houses, both sides of the house, are closing ranks, getting all their members on the floor. But the majority side have a few numbers not currently present, which makes it difficult for them to push through. And this is also a secret vote. The last time there was a secret vote on ministerial nominees, the minority lost because some of their own MPs even joined the majority MPs on this matter. And so government wants to avoid a repeat or a situation where you go and take this vote and then you have the minority carrying the day, and that is why they want to continue dialoguing. My understanding is that these businesses will not happen. The minority say, you heard this, I'm just saying that today they want to sit here till the next day, even if it will take that for them to trash out this government business. But the agreements that I'm getting from the majority side is that they may want to appeal to the Speaker to adjourn sitting today when he comes, and then there will be some kind of conversations going to tomorrow or even next week. Mind you, Parliament is expected to go on Easter break next week. If they go, they are expected to return in May. And some of these key government businesses cannot wait. The 3 tax measures is a precondition to getting an IMF deal. Can an IMF deal wait till May? The minority side say, well, they don't care for now. They want the government side to make some major concessions before they will support them in getting these measures through.
Okay, I'll allow you to take a quick breather whilst we wait for Parliament or the Speaker to gavel, the session into place. But before I let you off quickly, Kweku, I'm sure you've been finding out the talk among MPs, the backbenchers especially, because the debate was just about getting started when Anodompre came on his feet and asked for this particular break, and interestingly was supported by Governors Kwame Agboja on the other side. What really is the talk? How are the backbenchers especially taking this?
So, Ebefa, this has become such a political footballing in the House. It is hardline stance. The minority are closing ranks. They say that none of the ministerial nominees, the 6 of them, Katie Hammond, Dr. Amin Adams, Obi Amoa, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, Stephen Amoah Sticker, and these are the persons that the president has nominated, as well as the tax measures.
Okay.
They are unwilling at all to take any compromise stance. Indeed, when their leadership agreed to go behind the scenes and talk to leadership of the majority, some of them were not even happy. It was the same on the majority side. They said that let's go in, you never know what will happen. But the leadership are clearly being calculated about this. They want to have a conversation, have some agreements before they will put those votes. So when it comes to the backbenchers, on both sides, it's hardline stance, all of them clearly sticking to the decisions that their party and their leadership here in the House have taken. They're just waiting for the Speaker of Parliament to put the matters to a vote. And if it has to be a voice vote, they will shout. If it has to be that they will go to the booth and vote, they will also go in there and vote. Clearly, we vote, and clearly seeing the leadership of the parties coming in Parliament shows you the stakes that are at play here, and both sides do not want to make any big compromises that will affect their bases and also going into the 2024 election, because these are all things that the political parties think will inure to their benefit in the next election.
Well, we'll stay with you, Kweku. That's our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent. Great reporting there, Kweku. We'll stay with you till it ends today. And this is Joy News. We have you covered when it comes to all that is happening in Parliament. We're also live on myjoyonline.com, also on all our social media platforms. It's a good time to start sharing that link for everyone to be updated on what exactly is happening in Parliament. And our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, Kweku Asante, is there for us, giving us all that you need to know. But let's...